Is he okay left with a?
Yeah, you know, he has a kind of a dinged up shoulder that he's been fighting over the entire year. You know, it's an old injury that flares up on him, but he should be good by Saturday.
You talked about watching. Are you making the same mistakes? Are they different mistakes? Or, you know, how is what's happening with the defense? I guess that's my question.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes we're not putting them in good enough positions, so we've got to do a better job as a staff doing that. And then, you know, we got to do our job first. Sometimes you don't do your job and you don't trust that your teammate's going to do his job, so you come out of what your responsibility is, and then it makes it worse. You know, it opens up the hole where you're supposed to be, and that happened a number of times. And then our safeties have to really understand the run pass, and when it's run, fire and get downhill to their proper spot and make the tackle.
I think the opening line was 37 points this weekend. I know you don't pay attention to that stuff, but do you recall feeling like you, I guess ever as a coach, you were in a position as tough as this week against Clemson on the road?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good football team. You know, they've been a good football team since we've been in the conference with them. So, but I don't know anything about any lines. But I know when you put the video on and you watch them play, it's a great challenge.
What message can you give your team to give them a belief that they can win on Saturday?
Well, what you have to do is go out and practice hard, and you know, do everything you can to get in the game, and you know, try to get it into the fourth quarter. That's what you have to be able to do, is try to get it into the fourth quarter. You know, there have been games in the past that teams have went in there and beat them, so you have to rely on the fact that we're going to just give our best effort, play as hard as we possibly can.
Bobby, as you've watched film throughout the season, are you able to, I'm assuming, but are you able to pinpoint some of the reasons as to how this has resulted in a 2-6 season with some of the losses that have been as hard as they have?
I mean, every game is a little bit different. We are very young, there's no question about that, and very inexperienced on defense. You know, I think offensively it took us a little longer to get started than I thought it would. And we just haven't been able to match people when they've scored, and we haven't been able to outscore them. So the Boston College game, I felt like our defense played good for 3 quarters, and offensively we struggled in that game, and physically, you know, got beat up on the front. So it's kind of been something that, you know, each week has been a little bit different. That's kind of what happens when you're not a good football team. Right now we're not a good football team.
Are you confident that you're the one that can fix those issues?
Yeah, I believe in myself. I believe in, you know, what I've been able to do as a coach. You know, we'll grow and we'll get better.
At this point of the season, with the defense, because that seems to be the biggest problem right now. What can you played 8 games? What can you do? What from here?
Try to get them in better position. Just like I talked about, we got as a coaching staff, get our guys in better position, get them to work together, understand exactly what they're supposed to do, tackle better, and run full speed to the ball.
Bobby, each week your message has been, got to get back on the practice field, got to get to work, got to get things fixed. But do you have a different message for the players as far as being able to deal with being kind of stuck in a 5-game losing streak at all?
I mean,
address that?
That's what you do is you go on the practice field and work to get better. The biggest message that you have for your team is that you have to be able to stay together, stay positive, and not let this affect you. You know, not let defeat affect you, and understand that, you know, you have to overcome obstacles in life. You have to overcome setbacks, and that there's no quick fixes. There's no magic wand that you can put out there. You know, there's no one in that locker room that wants to be 2-6. I can tell you that. And you know, unfortunately, that we're not a good enough football team right now that where we thought we would be, and what we want to do.
Can you clarify when you found out about the allegation against Kamari last week?
Yeah, I think it was coming off the practice field when I came over and said, "Hey, Jake, how you doing?" And then you said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And I said, "Today's not my day."
Okay.
And then after that, I asked Rocco what was that all about,
Okay.
and then he told me.
Would you, in the, in
So I
a
wasn't doing a no comment. Remember, I'm the one that came over and said, hey, Jake,
I
how
saw
you
you,
doing?
yeah, I said hello.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, and then I heard later that you said I refused to comment on it. I didn't even know what you're talking about. I was actually just being friendly.
No,
Because you're usually not at that area when I
Yeah.
leave the practice field, so.
would you,
That's the first time I knew about it.
would you have wanted to know about it sooner?
I mean, yeah, I think we all would want
Yeah.
to know about it sooner, there's no question, you know. One of the things that I truly believe is that we run a disciplined program, that we keep our players accountable for what they're supposed to do on the field, in the classroom, off the field. Our record speaks for itself, and that's, we certainly don't want anything like that to ever go on, ever happen. But when it does, we're gonna do the right thing. There's no question that that's what we've always done.
With him, I know you suspended him after the first, after he was arrested. With him, I think he's been kicked off campus. Have you thought about just making it official and kicking him off the team, or what goes on?
Yeah, there's certain things that as a football coach that you don't get to do just what you wanna do.
Okay.
You have to go through the chain of command. Even like that night, I have people calling me and saying, hey, this isn't right, you're not saying anything, people are taking shots at you. Well, I was told I could not say anything. I was told I could not comment on it.
Could you say by who?
So I
by
just
whom
had to
you
be
told?
coachable and not comment on it. That's just how it is. I mean, that's the way it works. That's just the chain of command. I have bosses and they say, hey, you can't say anything, and I can't say anything. And they have their own, reasons why, but you just say, yes, sir.
By whom were you told not to comment? Can you
I mean,
say?
we don't need to get into that.
Bob, you've talked several times about not having